Something very curious has happened in the land of censorship, and it is a situation that leaves me wondering why exactly it happened or how far the censorship of this game could go. Honestly, Code Vein is a game that has many scenes and many characters that could end up in the crossfires and crosshairs of censorship, so we have to hope that that will not be the case. But Bandai Namco has finally rolled out the closed beta network test for Code Vein, and there were parts of the game that were censored, or so it would seem, and it would not be too shocking if in the final product these things were left out as well. Now, to give a little bit of context, Bandai Namco did censor and did leave out specific scenes in One Piece World Seeker. In the North American version of the game, there was a hot spring scene that was left out of the game. It just proves that Bandai Namco is not afraid to censor their products and censor scenes that already exist, scenes that exist in other versions of the game, just to please larger companies, maybe like Sony. So I did want to put that there, just so we can remember what they did with One Piece World Seeker going into the release of Code Vein. So there is a cinematic where a character bites the player's arm and they're bleeding everywhere. It's a really gnarly time, but during that cinematic, they are drenched in dripping in blood, and there is supposed to be a puddle of blood as well. And in some versions of the game, Sony did not feature this elusive puddle of blood. Now, I understand it really is not that big of a deal in hindsight, but when you know what Sony has been doing and doing recently, it really adds a huge worry to the potential censorship that this title could receive. Come on, aren't they ones for realism? Can't there be a little bit of blood? Blood is realistic. Come on, I'm sure if someone chonked on my arm, there'd be a little bit of blood too. Maybe not like a pool of blood, but a little bit of blood. And that blood doesn't even look like blood. It looks pink on the Xbox. Come on. You can allow the blood. I promise, no one's going to be mad at you. Now, this does raise the question of why did this receive censorship? Because it was the North American version of the game, and we do know that the other versions of the game had the blood, and I am just going to tell you, it is because of Sony. I am not even going to make you try to think that it is anything else. Sony, of course, has been very censorship heavy with titles that have fan service, that have nudity, even ones that are rated M, and they use the excuse that it is for the children, even if they cannot play those types of games. But Sony has not censored any violence recently and things like blood in a very long time, because they know that the West does very well with the acceptance of violence and gore, and they have seemed more concerned with censoring people's bodies, things that really exist. There has been a few different theories as to why it was censored and removed in the beta, and some people do believe that it could have just been a glitch and they did not have time to correct it. Which I will give the benefit of the doubt and say sometimes glitches happen, sometimes accidents happen, some things get changed, maybe something got shut off a setting, maybe the blood setting got shut off for the cinematics. I'm not sure how that would work in the case of a closed beta, but why was it just on the PlayStation 4 version of the game? And with the track record that Sony has had, do we really want to give them the benefit of the doubt? I mean, I used to love Sony, but I really do not trust them anymore. And if they are removing something as small as a puddle of blood, what is going to happen to the rest of the game? What about the character Io, or the girl in white? That's what she's called. She's pretty busty. I am just not sure where they are going with the censorship. There obviously is going to be blood present in the rest of the game, and of course there's violence that leads to depictions of blood and, cinematics with blood. I'm just wondering if this truly was just a glitch, it was a mistake, they did not realize it until it was up and launched, and because it was a closed, short network test, they did not want to take it back down. They figured maybe people would not realize, and it even does show the blood dripping, and then when it pans out, it does not have the blood there, so I am just really worried with the future of this game. Will we see censorship? Will we see lens flares? Will we see maybe additional layers to clothing? Will we see things like blood censored. It does not make a whole lot of sense for what Sony has been doing lately, but it is something to keep your eye on, and of course, if there is more censorship to this title, I will definitely let you guys know. I do update everyone on Twitter, so make sure to follow me there. Make sure to join our Discord. There will be a link in the description. We do have a censorship channel where if something is censored that you want me to talk about, you can help me figure out what it is so I can discuss it. Also, please feel free to give the video a like if you enjoyed and a dislike if you did not enjoy. Feel free to use the comment section down below as a place to discuss your thoughts and your opinions with other people on this video and the topic in general. But I did hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys in the next video really soon.